Flagship devices are getting more and more expensive, yet budget devices are getting better and better. So does it make sense for everybody to get a flagship phone? Well, probably not. And I'm going to show you guys why I think some of these devices might work for you. We're going to take a look at a couple of devices here in the $200 range and also the $300 range. And I'm going to tell you guys why you might not need that flagship phone and why these could work for you. We'll compare these devices right now. All right, let's start off with the $200 range. First, we have the Redmi 5 Plus. We have the Honor 7X, which is widely accessible on Amazon. And also, this is a very popular one, the Android One Mi A1 from Xiaomi. First one we're going to take a look at is the Mi A1. This is an Android One version of the phone. That means you're running about as close to stock Android as possible. Whatever Google wanted to install with Android One, it's on here. Doesn't have the MIUI stuff. And Lita called this a Nexus by another name. And I tend to agree with her. My second opinion on this from Tech is that this is a very nice stock Android experience. The Snapdragon 625 with the Android One actually performs really well. And just because you're running Android One doesn't mean it's going to be a good experience. Like this particular phone here, which we'll talk about in a second. But Android One and the Snapdragon 625 works really well. And I actually really liked using this phone too. It felt like I was using a Nexus 5X, and I love the Nexus program. And it's nice to see a really affordable Android One phone that performs really well. So this is a really nice one to start off. And then we also have its kind of brother or sister, if you want to call it, the Redmi 5 Plus. It is a newer phone from Xiaomi compared to the Mi A1. And this one also has a Snapdragon 625 processor. And the thing is with this particular phone is it uses MIUI. So unlike stock Android, MIUI is slightly different. You can check out our full review of all of these devices. I'll have them in the link below, and it's also on our channel. But the thing is, MIUI isn't for everybody. And yes, you can put a launcher, which I did use on here. And overall, this was a very good experience as well. I called this one of my favorite budget devices of the year, and I still stand by that. I think this is one of the best sub $200 phones you can get in the market today. This, on the other hand, the Honor 7X is widely acclaimed. I've seen a lot of great reviews about it, and a lot of you guys have told me that you had a great experience with it in our review video. However, I did not have a good experience with it, and I highlighted it in our review video. This thing lagged a lot for me, and it actually crashed and locked up significantly. Like, I haven't seen something like this in quite a long time. And once again, we use the same usage for all of these devices. We have a standard format we test, standard suite of apps we test with. And for some reason, like the camera will launch, it took anywhere from like 7 to 14 seconds. I took this to Hong Kong. Once again, you can watch the full review. We have all that documented. But I took this to Hong Kong, and in the same trip, I purchased this in the Xiaomi store in Hong Kong, and I used this simultaneously together. It was night and day. This had significant issues with the app flow. The app flow was just really difficult to navigate Android through and locked up a lot. And that contributed with the fact that the Mate SE, which is basically the European version of this phone with 1 extra gigabyte of RAM and more storage for only like $20 more, went on sale. I could not recommend this phone. I recommend the Mate SE if you're really set on buying this particular phone. Get the Mate SE. That's what I said in the full review, and I still stand by that. And this phone in general, the one thing that beats these two phones, in my opinion about this, is the camera. So I really enjoyed using the camera here. These dual lenses were really good, and it actually picked up really good quality photos. This, on the other hand, the Redmi 5 Plus, I think is the best overall package of these three phones. However, the camera was sorely lacking, and Alita did a video comparison of these two cameras, and you can see that video and you can see the photos there, but I thought the Redmi 5 Plus's camera was a little bit lacking. But overall, I think the package with everything that this phone offers in the aspect ratio and things like that was just terrific. I think this is the best of the three. Now, let's move on to the $300 range, and we have two phones here, and these are two recent reviews we've done too. And this is the Android One Nokia 6.1. So this is Nokia's 2018 update of the Nokia 6. And then this is the Sony Xperia X8 which is Sony's mid-tier phone. And both of these run the exact same processor, the Snapdragon 630. I think these two in particular are good middle grounds for those of you who have used flagship phones in previous years, but want to maybe not spend that much this year and get a phone in this particular price range. So we'll start off with the Nokia 6.1. So the Nokia 6.1, we just reviewed it. Once again, all of this is on our channel. You can watch a full review of it. It's not a bad phone, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad phone, but I was expecting more, especially since I used this after using the Sony here. And because of the Android one and because of what Lena and I experienced on the Xiaomi A1, I thought this was gonna be really smooth and basically like that Nexus feeling that I was talking about. But I felt like this phone slowed down a lot, and it did actually get really warm. And this phone got warm too. The X8 II does get warm. I think it might be the chipset. The Snapdragon 630 seems to get a little warmer. But because of this built material, this really nice slab of aluminum, it actually really heated up the phone, and it got uncomfortable to use more so than this particular one because it has a bit of plastic on here. So the Nokia 6.1, the camera was okay. It wasn't anything special. Low light wasn't too great on it. Build quality though is superb. This is actually a really nice built phone. I really like the design of it. And the thing is, this still uses that old 16:9 aspect ratio, so it is a little bulky. And as you can see, this really fills up your grip of your hand, that 5.5-inch screen. So if you're really into that big screen, thick type of phone, this is right here. And I like the phone, it's just, I expected more, I really did, and that's what I said in the full review of it too. While as the Sony Xperia X8 II, I've been having a string of bad luck with Sony, as a lot of you guys have been watching and we've documented. There's a lot of app crashing and things like that, and that did happen here as well. We have that on Twitter, we have that in our full review of it. But this is the least buggy Sony phone I've had in the last couple of years. I really haven't had too much success with Sony. Maybe I've just been catching all the bugs, which is good because we can report it to you guys, but a majority of you guys don't have that problem. And the Sony Xa II, as I said, I was really shocked about how much I enjoyed using this, especially coming from previous Sony Xa phones. The Sony Xa, original Xa was not a good phone. I thought it was absolutely a disgrace what Sony put out there for that mid-range, for that price. So for this price, for 300 bucks for this offering, this is a great package. I think this is one of the best mid-range phones you can get, and it's a budget mid-range phone. And if you're not willing to go up to that $400 or $500 range and get something like the Honor View 10 or something like the OnePlus, this is terrific, and I think it's a great settlement for apps float really smoothly here. It's not the fastest thing. If you've used a flagship in the last couple of years, you can definitely tell that this is not a flagship phone, but it really works well, and you have to take my word for it. You gotta watch our full review of it. I think this is a great budget device. If you can really hit that 300 range, around that 300 range, this is the phone to get. And if you're getting these, if you can really bump that up on extra $100, I do think this is worth the upgrade compared to something like these. But if you're really budget strapped and you have to get that $199, $200 price tag, I think either the Mi A1 or the Redmi 5 Plus would be a good buy for basically anybody. And the Honor 7X, skip that, get the Mate SE if you really love Honor phones. And that's basically it. That's the video. What are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Are there other phones that I've missed? I know the Blue Peer View and some other Blue devices could be in this conversation, and new ones are coming out every single day. But I just thought these were great budget phones, and I wanted to do a video of them together. Let me know what your comments are, what your thoughts are, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
If you like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit the bell button below so that you don't miss a single video in the future. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!